Hello everyone, and welcome to a Day in the Life vlog. When I asked this year the content that people wanted, a Day in the Life vlog was one that was suggested. And my first thought was, well, I don't know, I'm not feeling well on a lot of days, and it just doesn't seem practical with chronic illness. But today is a very good energy day, a very rare good energy day. Most of the week I was very, very tired. I thought I do really enjoy watching vlogs, and I feel like I get comments that people enjoy watching my vlogs whenever, once in a blue moon that I've done past Victobers I didn't do any this Victober. But I thought, it's a good energy day. Why not? So I thought I would take you along for the day, and it is a very special day. It's Saturday, December 6th, and it is the 12th day of Christmas, aka Epiphany. So we do have an Epiphany feast planned. This is our third year doing an Epiphany feast. And I just really like trying to acknowledge more of the 12 days of Christmas. We don't do that much on the other 12 days. It's hard. Like I didn't have that much energy to kind of figure out how to make it more special this year. But hopefully in future years, we can kind of figure out a way. We went over to friends last Saturday, and they really celebrate the whole 12 days of Christmas. And they were saying kind of the things that they do to try to make it special. So I really like that. So I did have Christmas music on, but I paused it right now in the background so I won't get copyright strikes. So yes, just getting ready for the day. I got out of bed pretty early for Saturday. I got out at 8, which usually on Saturdays, because my husband is home and he gives the boys breakfast and things, I don't get up early. But I did want to go to the post office to mail a package. Hold on one sec. I cannot talk and do this. There we go. Okay, wanted to go to the post office to mail a package and go to the library. I go to the library pretty much every single Saturday. And then I also am going to the pharmacy. Also can't really talk as well while I do mascara. And I make weird faces when I do it. I have a prescription at the pharmacy. And it was very frustrating because yesterday, I had gotten several text alerts that my prescriptions were ready. And then went to the pharmacy. They were not ready at all. The pharmacy is one of my least favorite places in the world to go. I know pharmacists are working hard, and they're always behind, and they're constantly really busy working, trying to not be behind. So it's not the fault of the pharmacists. And obviously it was an automated system thing that I got sent the alert. It wasn't the pharmacist's fault. She's like, I have no idea why you got sent that. I'm really sorry. So anyway, back to the pharmacy I go, my least favorite errand. So maybe I'll do post office pharmacy first, and then the library. Save the library for last. I think that's what I'll do. There we go. And then my setting spray. So I thought I would take you along for the day and just show you what I'm reading and what I'm up to today. All the annoying errands are done. I'm so excited. So the package that I had to mail is for a thing I'm doing on Patreon, on my Patreon, where we have a Valentine's Day book exchange. It's just because winter, even though I like winter more than summer, all of the darkness and cold and everything, it can just feel kind of gloomy. So I just prefer, I wish it could always be spring or autumn. I would just love a perpetual loop of spring and autumn. It would be completely okay with me. So 3 years ago, I thought, why not have a Valentine's Day book exchange, and anyone who wants to participate can participate, and no one is obligated to. And so there was a percentage of the group that were interested, and it was a really fun thing, just to have this cheer, very, what do I want to say, like a cheer me up package that each person was getting. And so we do a book, and we do some candy. Some people do more than one book. Some people do, more than a little candy. So last year it was really fun. I got to send a package to Petra from the channel Petra U. Sent the package all the way to Finland, because she was the only person that far that wanted to send it. So then this year we have one person from India participating, and then Petra is participating again. They're exchanging. And then there was one person from Ireland. And so that was the only other international person. And I am happy, as kind of the person who runs the group, I can totally make that happen. I can send the international package once a year. So I'm sending to my friend Maria in Ireland, and I'm really excited for her to get her package. So it's still, I cannot believe, I always think it's going to take such a very long time for something to get way, far across the world. And I think it said 6-day shipping. So I am very early for Valentine's Day, but I would just rather have it be there early than have it not there on time for Valentine's Day. And also, I know with Petra's that it did get stuck in customs for a while. So we'll see how quickly Maria's gets there. So now I'm headed to the library, my home away from home. I love it so much. And I'm really glad to be going because, I fell. Whenever I go over a bump, I forget that it shifts. Because this week our tires were out of alignment, and we took the car to the mechanic, and we are a one-car family. So if the car is in the shop, then we have no car. And it ended up being a little bit more complicated, like totally fixable, but they had to wait for an extra thing. So the car ended up being there a couple extra days, and I wasn't even sure if we were going to have it today. So I didn't know if we were going to be able to make the Epiphany feast happen. But the car, we got it back, and I have a hair on my lip that stuck to my lipstick. Got it. That was really bugging me. Anyway, so in that time, I have had a couple things go overdue at the library, and so I want to return those things, and I'm desperate to pick up. I have on hold waiting for me a DVD of 84 Charing Cross Road, which I meant to reread 84 Charing Cross Road at the beginning of this year, and I meant to reread it on January 1st. That's what some readers do, and I love that notion, starting out the year with such a cozy book. It did not happen because I was really not feeling well enough to be doing reading on January 1st. So maybe today for Epiphany I would reread it, but I really want to watch the movie. I think it'd be very cozy for wintertime. But I also have an Epiphany movie tradition, so I won't be watching 84 Charing Cross Road today because I love on Epiphany to watch Shadowlands. It's a movie about the love story of C.S. Lewis and Joy Davidman, and it's just, I can just sink into it when I watch it. It's got such a beautiful soundtrack. I have a winter cozy playlist I've made on Spotify, and there are like 8 songs from that soundtrack. It also does feature some Christmas in it,
but it's a very sad movie. So it's not like a cheerful Christmas movie you want to watch. But since it's ever so slightly hinting at Christmas, it just seems perfect for Epiphany, and it's very, very cozy. So I think today I do want to get some reading done, but I will also sit and work on my blanket that I'm knitting for my niece Lily. She's turning 5, and she told me she had very important news to tell me. She said, "Aunt Kate, I have 2 new favorite colors." So she already had pink and purple as her favorite colors, but now she has blue and green. So I just said, "Aunt Kate, I have something to tell you." Like, it was very big news in Lily's life. So I am incorporating all 4 colors. They're in pastels. I actually, last month, I just ordered online, or it wasn't last month, it was several months ago, ordered online these 4 blue, pink, purple, and green. And then once they came in person, I was like, these colors don't blend at all. Like, they don't look nice. I did not like them. I was like, I should have bought the yarn in person. So thankfully I could return the yarn, and I am really liking how the blanket is turning out. So can we please give a moment to talk about the reread that is just completely all consumed me, and that is my reread of Daughter of the Forest. I just get so emotionally invested in this story. Daughter of the Forest by Juliet Marillier is a retelling of the Seven Swans fairy tale, but it's got an ancient Britain setting, which is, it's just everything. It's everything. And the sense of place as you are reading this is astounding. It's just unreal how much you feel like you are there presently with the characters. It does have some trauma that happens in it. So I feel like I should always give people that heads up if they're considering reading it and they are sensitive to that. But it's just like 3 paragraphs, so it's not at all gratuitous. It's there, and I assume it's part of the original fairy tale. I'm not sure. But one of the things that I really, really love about Daughter of the Forest is just how masculine the men are. I think that in reading a lot of Victorian literature, where the men, it's a lot of upper class, where they're kind of just sitting in houses and doing things. And not that you can't be masculine sitting in a house, but the men in Juliet Marillier's books, like, they go out and they do things, and they defend, they are like warriors, and they defend their family, and they're very physically strong, and it's just such a kind of breath of fresh air compared to a lot of the male characters that I read about. So yes, I just love it. Oh, it's so good. Now, I was a little bit nervous when I started my reread because I was not enjoying it that much, and I had forgotten just how long it took the reading to come easily to me while I was reading it. It took it over 100 pages, which is a lot in a book, especially if it's not a classic. But this book has stayed with me as much as a classic. So I am eating up every second of my reread. And now that I'm enjoying it, and now she has met the future love of her life, I'm really, really enjoying it. So it's just a good day. And it's actually slightly snowing. It's like, I think there's snow coming down, but it's not at all setting. But it's still cozy.
Hi everyone. So I am home now and had some yummy lunch, and want to show you the books that I got at the library and give you a kind of reading update, what I'm currently reading, and but all before I watch Shadowlands. So I'm just so excited to sit with a favorite film and do some knitting and celebrate Epiphany. So what I picked up for myself at the library was not much, because I have so many new books, which I am planning on filming a book haul. I'm just waiting on one more book to arrive, and then I'll have it all together and I can film the book haul. So what was I saying though? I don't know. I lost my train. Oh. So anyway, just picked up a few things for myself, but then a lot for the boys. So they did have the DVD of 84 Charing Cross Road. It had not expired. It expired today, so I didn't know if it would be gone at the beginning of the day, and thankfully it was not. So I'm very, very grateful to have that. And then I have made a list of 24 books I want to read this year, and haven't made a formal video because I'm worried it will jinx it, and then all of a sudden the list will feel overwhelming. And one of the on the list is an author, not really a book title, because I might try a couple different, because I know she has some very different vibes to her books, and that author is Catherine Ray. And so one that I'm going to try is The London House, which I know is uncharacteristic maybe for her, but I heard wonderful things about this from my friend Morgan, and I've been meaning to read it for so long. So here I have a copy of The London House. And then this was, I can't even remember how I heard about this, but the Mother-Daughter Murder Night. It's a new release, and I think they end up accidentally happening upon a murder. And so it almost seems like a grandmother, adult daughter, and then granddaughter end up investigating something. So I don't know if it's my kind of thing, but that's the wonderful thing about the libraries. I can try it from there and see what I think. So then the library is actually going to be closed they're painting the entire interior of the library. So it's going to be closed for several weeks, which is sad because I love this library. So I can go to the other locations if I really have a hankering to put something on hold. But the nice thing about it is then they extended the due dates to several books that were due. And I had this one new release that I hadn't gotten around to trying yet. And now it's not due until the 29th of January. So it's The Sunset Years of Agnes Sharp. And it's about an elderly woman who lives in, what do they call it? A house share. Yes, she lives in a house share for the old and unruly in the sleepy English countryside. And it just seems really, really fun. And their next door neighbor is murdered, and she investigates the case. So we will see what I think of The Sunset Years of Agnes Sharp. I just love this cover. I think it's so beautiful. Yeah, so that will be really interesting. I love the premise of that. And then also from the library, here's 84 Charing Cross Road. So I'm really hoping to read this very, very soon. I mean, it's such a short book, but it's so beautiful. I really like it. Then going out on a limb, I am cautiously optimistic, but I have so much fantasy that I've tried that I haven't gotten on with, but I want to enjoy more fantasy. So this is Duncton Wood by William Horwood, and it is kind of like The Wind in the Willows as high fantasy. So far, I really like the writing in it. I am only 53, is that right? 54 pages into this. So it's really too early to tell because it is chunky, but I want to finish by the end of the month. So I have just looked, and I think if I read 1 to 2 chapters each day, if I read 2 chapters every day, then I'll definitely, I'll finish early. So maybe towards the end, pick up the pace and read 2 chapters, or start now reading 2 chapters. We'll just see, but I would like to get through this. I don't often give myself the luxury of reading longer books like this that aren't classics, so I feel like I'm just treating myself, and hopefully I will really enjoy it. So I do have the next couple in this series, although there are 6 in total. Then, speaking of Shadowlands, this movie that I'm so excited to watch today because it's one of my favorites, I, a couple years ago, was just looking into Douglas Gresham, who was C.S. Lewis' stepson. And he has written a book about his mother and C.S. Lewis falling in love, and also his childhood, kind of his life with C.S. Lewis. And it's Lenten Lands, My Childhood with Joy Davidman and C.S. Lewis. I was not able to read an excerpt of this before getting it. The library didn't have it. So it was kind of a, just hoping I would like the writing style. And thankfully, I really like the writing style. So he speaks so fondly about his mother. And at the next chapter, I'm pretty sure he's going to meet C.S. Lewis for the first time. So that will be interesting. And then I need to continue making my way through As Death Draws Near by Annalee Huber. This is a leftover from December. I kind of got started to be distracted by all sorts of other books. And so I am enjoying this, but I am just not wanting to plow through it. But I have this out, for several more weeks from the library now. And I'm about halfway through. So this one has a murder that takes place at an abbey. So that is already really chilling that someone would bring murder into a place like that. And yeah, I really enjoy these. The year now, it keeps moving forward in time. Before it was kind of Regency era. Goodness. Going to show us? Let's see here. It is 1831. So continuing to move forward in time, we're getting closer and closer to the Victorian era. And I want to make my way through this, but not super quickly. And then something that I really want to read is Flyte. So this is the second Septimus Heap book. Now my husband and son have both read this, and my son is Peter is really wanting to talk to me about the stuff that happens in it. So I'm very, very excited to read Flyte because I loved magic so much. So this is part of the Septimus Heap series, which is historical fantasy and is written so compellingly. It's very whimsical. I loved it so much. It made me instantly very excited and eager to get to the next one. And also, I like that it has some illustrations throughout. And then also, I saw at the end of the book, what is the heading for? Yeah, what happened before. So it shows you several characters who you just meet in this and tells you about their life before. And then there's a what happened after section. So you can kind of find out the endings for certain characters that you might not see on the page. I am all set now to do some knitting and watch a cozy movie. I will show you really quickly. I'll go over. There's Tabby. She's all curled up and sleeping and cozy, which I love. The meal was a big success. I can't remember if I said before or not. It was coq au vin, which is my favorite meal and Peter's favorite meal. It had been September since I made it, and I always like to make it at least, my idea would be 3 times in winter. It is pretty labor intensive. It doesn't seem like it would be because it's pretty simple ingredients, but by the time it's done, I feel like it's usually about 3 hours of work. So I was just banking that today would be a good energy day, and thankfully it has been. I feel very euphoric after that meal. I love it so much, but I'm now extremely, extremely full. So I'll be digesting. We'll see if I can actually stay awake to read. It is only 7 p.m. So I sure hope I can. The boys are watching a movie now, and I want to try to read a chapter of As Death Draws Near, because I definitely want to be done with this by the time it expires. Yeah, I'm not quite, like I said, I'm not quite in the mood to just plow through this, but I do enjoy it every time I pick it up, which seems weird for a mystery. That's usually how I feel about a classic. So, I don't know, but I won't fight it. And then after watching Shadowlands, I'm more encouraged than ever to continue through Lenten Lands by Douglas Gresham. So it is just really cool to have this book now after feeling so delighted and moved and sad, heartbroken after watching Shadowlands, to have a book as extra material um, to read through. And I just noticed a fun detail in this, that Joy Davidman is knitting on this. So that's cool because they do have her knit in several scenes in Shadowlands. So I think that was a detail they took from her real personality. So yeah, first, a chapter of As Death Draws Near. Well, I did get some good reading in. I read a chapter out of As Death Draws Near and am really intrigued by this crime. And I love our main character, Lady Darby, is now married in this book. So getting to see her as a married lady is really fun. Listen to a good chunk of Daughter of the Forest on audio today. I think I have around 10 audio hours left of it. So it's flying by all too fast. Really enjoyed 2 chapters out of Lenten Lands, and there was one really funny bit where it was talking about, he has a chapter just giving more background for C.S. Lewis's brother that he called Warnie, and Warnie and Joy were very good friends, and there was one time when Joy was visiting, she was visiting Magdalen College for luncheon. She turned to Warnie and said, in the most natural tone in the world, as he recorded in his diary, "Is there anywhere in this monastic establishment where a lady can relieve herself?" That made me laugh so hard. So just the kind of poetic wording, but also the very upfront, blunt nature of it. It's just like such a funny combination of things. So I really am enjoying getting to read this. There's a bit of repetitiveness. Sometimes he'll say almost the same sentence about something, and I'm like, yeah, you said that a few paragraphs ago. But other than that, I am really, really enjoying this. And then I did read the prologue and first chapter in Flyte, and this immediately, I feel like I'll be able to fall into the story so easily. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe have this on the back burner and just blast through Flyte, because this is a book that is really compulsive reading. Once you start, you really cannot stop. And make my way through Lenten Lands also. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this day in the life, and maybe this will be a thing this year that I'll have periodic, totally unscheduled day in the life reading vlogs, just to get a little picture of reading on a certain given day in a month. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll be back with another video soon. Bye.